Camera for Donny. Go for Donny. Sound for Donny. Go for Donny.
Makeup for Donny.
Go for Donny.
Medic for Donny.
Go for Donny. Grip department for Donny. Go for Donny.
Production for Donny.
Go for Donny.
Billy for Donny. Go for Donny.
Billy Dunston. Hey, dude, welcome to my podcast. Thanks for coming on. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man.
Oh, man, it's so good to see your face. It's been, a couple years since we've worked together?
Yeah, time flies.
It's crazy. I think it's been 2 years, but
Yeah.
I mean, of course, I follow you on social media, and I see everything that you're into. So it's really cool to have you. We have some great stories from our time, but everyone, I want to make sure you stay tuned for Switchy Channel 2, where we'll get a chance to ask our guest Billy Dunston some more questions, so you, the audience, gets to know him just a little bit better. And I also want to say thank you and hello to some different audiences or people out there that's listening to my podcast. They're from Mexico, Ukraine. I even have a Russian audience, a lot of Indians. India is a big market as well, Bangladesh. So I want to say hi to everyone out there and say thank you for listening. So anyways, back to you, Billy. Billy? Let's talk about our time on that magical show. What was it? Mountain Men Extreme Marksman?
Ultimate Marksman.
I'm sorry. You were the Ultimate Marksman. Dude, let's talk about your episode, man. How was it? What did you do?
So they got us in, it was 4 contestants, including myself, and we were throwing knives, tomahawks, things that were era appropriate for that particular challenge. So we had one where we were throwing Bowie knives and trying to stick a can to a board.
It was so much fun. I mean, we got to set up, since I was AD on it, I got to help set up, the obstacle course, if you will, of what you guys had to throw these at. And man, we were there testing with the marksman expert. I mean, those knives were kind of dull and kind of just not really good to throw, right?
Yeah, like there's from the stuff that I do now, like there's a kind of a happy medium about how sharp you want it. Because I mean, like for the example, the can, if it's so sharp that it's just going to like punch straight through it and cut the can in half, then you're never going to pin it to the wall.
Right. Yeah. Now, you still doing any of that competition?
Not really, and I can go into a story about that. I think the time limit for how they found me and all that, I think that's up now.
Dude, let's hear it. Maybe I didn't know this.
So they found me is I think they went through my Instagram or something, and they saw me just like throwing axes at axe throwing place, and that was like really the first time I had thrown axes. But I hit a couple of bullseyes. It was cool, haha, fun. And they hit me up, and they're like, "Hey, like you can do axes. Like it'll be just a whole bunch of beginners." I'm like, okay, this sounds kind of fun. And they're like, yeah, it'll be a survival show. So you'll actually be survivaling, like going over distance, staying the night, doing all that kinds of. I'm like, oh yeah, I can like completely smash that. The knife throwing, we'll see. And then they're like, okay, well, you'll be fine. So they're like, hey, you have your own throwing knives, right? I'm like, no, man, you guys like found me on the internet. They're like, oh no, it'll be fine. And then like the whole rest of the show was things like they would ask me on the spot where they were almost like a setup. So it was one of the interviews. They're like, so Billy, we heard that you didn't bring your own knives. I'm sitting there like, oh yeah, the airport, man. Crazy, man. It's, Southwest and I was like, oh my God, they're really gonna try to put me on the spot. And then like later on, because I mean, obviously the other people, I think Walden was like 8-time axe throwing and knife throwing champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, all these people were legit. And they're like, Billy can throw really hard. Like, I was like,
like, that's what I got going for me. Not an 8-time world champion or anything like that. Oh my God, that's so funny. Wow. So wait, so this was supposed to be like a survival show first before it morphed into just a competition show?
Yes, that's what I was pitched. That's what I was gearing up for the whole time. They're like, hey, they're going to provide you with X. You have to survive for this long amount of time. And when I got out there, it was not that at all.
Interesting. I didn't know that. I mean, I think that would have been cool. That would have been a cool, part to that show. I mean, I thought it was fun. I thought it was pretty good. It was well put together, and the competitions were good, and it was entertaining, I thought. But I think it's just the right time and place for every show, to find that audience. And plus, at a time when there's so much content out there, I mean, this is crazy. So, but dang, that was a lot of fun. That was up in Montana. We had a good time. But I was just thinking about this and I'm like, I think the Army really gravitates me towards people. So, I mean, I'll pass up anyone else. I don't care if you're famous or who you are. If someone else that I see is either a vet or is active duty or something, and I'll go right to them and just strike up a conversation. It's just that strange brotherhood of the Army, one. And then if you break it down a little farther, the infantry, and then you could break it down farther, but I'm not a Ranger. So, that's right. Billy's also a Ranger. Can you tell me a little bit about your time in the Army as a Ranger?
So I served active duty with 2nd Battalion, 2nd Ranger, so 275 out of Fort Lewis. I was there from 2006 to 2011.
Wow, very cool.
5 deployments and a Purple Heart.
Oh my gosh! Well, thank you for your service, and I'm glad you're okay. Any kind of shit, So, what I wanted to do is this show came out of all these crazy stories that I've had from set, and they're fun, and we've told a lot of them, and we're going to continue to tell some more. And so, it's really good that you worked on a show with me. So, because there was some shenanigans that happened on that show, it was interesting, it was challenging, but it's kind of cool that. I think that this can cross over into military stories as well. And that's what I'm trying to do, is branch out to some of my veteran friends or active duty friends that served, that will be able to come on and tell some stories from their time in the military. So, I mean, I know we did some stupid shit all the way from basic training to active duty, the way we treated soldiers upcoming. And it was a rite of passage. And it was, it was part of training as well. Like I remember one time, my first time, getting told to go get the key to Whipple Field. Well, Whipple Field is a field, like a parade field at Fort Myer on this hill that kind of overlooks Iwo Jima, in the city. And there's no gate or key. And so here I go looking for it. And of course, whenever, you ask someone, they kind of chuckle and they're like, oh yeah, you're new. So it wasn't malicious, but still, like, you feel like an idiot, and then you want to send people down that path. So do you have any fun stories like that from your time that you could share?
Yeah, I'll not say his name because we're actually buddies now. Now that we're both out. But after I got out of active duty, went to the National Guard, ended up in the National Guard in Oregon, and we had this kid, and I tried to be a decent NCO in terms of, I'm not going to smoke guys. I would rather smoke guys than put them on or counsel them and make it on paper, because a lot of guys are young, they're stupid. I remember being there. So they don't need paperwork to follow them. They just need, someone to reach them a certain way. And there was this guy, I think he lived maybe 20 minutes from the unit. I lived 45, and I made it there 10 minutes early before. If we were 6, I'm there at 5:50, and then formation's at 6:30. So that's standard. You get there early.
Yep.
This kid would show up like during formation, and I was just losing my mind. And multiple times, like I would smoke him on Friday, and we show up for Saturday, and he'd be late Saturday. I'm just like, I don't know what to do. So eventually I had him just mopping and this is Portland. So it's always raining. So I just had him mopping the parking lot in the rain.
Nice.
And was
there
like,
you go.
Man, you got to go make sure all those puddles are gone. And he was out there for like about 6 hours before I finally brought him in. And that was kind of one of the changes of like, his attitude started to change after that, and he was more consistent. But I was like, finally, this is like the one thing. Like, it has to be so stupid that there's no way you could mistake it for something else.
What an idiot. I mean, but we've all been there. We've all done stupid shit, and, we've gotten smoked. I'll never forget Drill Sergeant C, Drill Sergeant Cody, and Drill Sergeant Dorsey. My 3 drill sergeants, man, they There was something else, and they would totally mess with you, but rightfully so. And I think I was actually in during a time where they tried to phase out like any, I don't know, any kind of punishment, any kind of vulgar language at all. They were giving out stress cards to was it a platoon or a battalion behind us? They were testing it out and gave them stress cards. And you're like, what the hell is this about? Like, so you think back and you're like, okay, I made it through unscathed, and I made it through for a reason. So, and I have some funny stories to tell, like we had this dude named Choquette. He looked like a Simpson character. Like he straight up looked like he was from The Simpsons, and he acted like he was from The Simpsons. He could have been, now that I think about it. You just think about these fond memories, of these idiots that you're with. I don't know. I mean, mine's a little farther back than yours, and that one, right? And you were at Benning as well?
Yes.
Nice. And what is it called there now?
I don't know.
It was Sand Hill before. It was
yes. So
Harmony
Sand Hill.
Church, Sand Hill. Yeah. Probably not changed.
Funny on that is, so I'm actually having a kid here soon.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. But first kid, and my battle buddy, who I haven't seen, since 2006, since when I joined, he's actually having his first kid, I think a month before me. Like they're planned like a month before me. And this is like, we haven't planned this. I mean, we talk to each other maybe like once a year just to kind of keep up, but I haven't talked to him in, like I feel like at least a year and a half had gone by. And then I saw something on Instagram. I'm like, dude, no way you're having a kid like almost at the same like time frame, like about a month or 3 weeks. Like it's pretty close. I'm like, that's just wild that like my battle buddy from then would be having a kid at the same time.
That's pretty awesome. Is he close by, or is he?
No, he's in North Carolina.
North Kakalaki. Isn't it crazy the friends that you make and how everywhere around the world and the U.S. they are? It's fun. It's a cool thing about my job is I get to travel around a lot for work, and it seems like I'm always going to places where I have a friend, a lot of Army friends, that I get to hang out with and see every once in a while. One just hit me up today or a little bit ago asking if I was okay with all what's going on around LA. So it's always good to have those friends, man. I mean, a lifetime, and they're good to talk to as well. Now, how long you been out?
Been out since 2019.
Nice. And then what did you do after that?
So I originally had wanted to train for a sports team up in Portland because I was going to PSU at the time. Pandemic shut down, like everything, and I had like just started, like kind of a little bit of modeling, but nothing serious. And when everything shut down, one of the things that sucked is that that was the year that I was supposed to do all my internships because Portland State University is a D1 school. So like my ultimate goal was to just be a sports trainer, for like a D1 school, like a strength and conditioning coach for, I don't care what team. It could have been basketball to, I don't know, chess. I don't care. Doesn't matter. It's just like, like there's something cool about taking athletes and like seeing them achieve like just another level of fitness.
Yeah, helping them. Yeah.
But all that stopped. So I was like, man, maybe I should lean into this acting thing. So got a bunch of books. Once people started doing online classes, started taking online classes. When people had in-person classes, small groups, I took those and I just started working out. I got my agent in 2000 or 2021, like the really beginning of that. And it just ball's been rolling since then.
Oh, that's really cool. I mean, it doesn't work for a lot of people and it's such a grind, which I was going to ask you about the industry and how you see it, on your side of things. Cause it's still, it's January, it's early, but it's still kind of slow. So I really hope, things change, but it sounds like you're getting work and it looks like you're getting work in, all types of areas. So like video games, I see all your shoots you do with video games, man. That's really cool. That must be some fun stuff, being able to throw your gear back on and, and do a little action and then be able to stop and take it off and go home.
Yeah. So that's one of the things I've been lucky for is that I got hooked up with this company called TagGas, and they're a third party. They do media for everyone from Call of Duty to Oakley to SIG and FLIR. I mean, if you've been to SHOT Show, which is like, for people who don't know, is probably, I think, the largest firearms first responder kind of EMS type show in the world, or convention in the world. And they do a lot of their media. So, like, I mean, I've seen my face, 20, 30 feet tall.
Wow.
At these places, like, with firearms or selling helmets and stuff like that.
That's really awesome, man. That's got to feel good.
Yeah, it's super. It's cool because I haven't been yet in person, but everyone's like, "Oh, you're here." I'm like, I'm there with you in spirit.
That's so cool. I just did this vertical shoot, these vertical shoots of this new way of filming for, I think it's Reels Plus. All these different apps have these romance vertical, like they're mini movies, and they're like 1 to 2 minute episodes. Anyways, we did one about the military, and so I was the military expert, and I was like, oh man, this is so much fun. Like, forgetting the lingo and trying to remember the lingo of how it should have been said. But we had a couple of the background actors that were veterans, and it was great because we didn't do much, but they got it, and it was easy to get them to do things where they kept talking about, the background actors, and we can't ask them to do this or that. I'm just like, what the hell? I mean, they need to harden the fuck up, But that's why I was like, well, if we hired real, veterans, because they're playing, like they're active duty, I mean, they'll do anything. So it's so nice to work with veterans on set because, we seem to be able to harden the fuck up. We're not dandies. We're not afraid to get our hands dirty. So it really shows, I think.
Yeah. Another part to that is like, especially with the larger sets, it's weird to kind of come to that realization that, like, if I'm coming on as an actor, like, I can't touch anything. Like, I'm there to act, and like that's it. Whereas smaller sets and being from the military, it's just like, okay, well, if someone needs help, then we're a team. I'm going to help them. So, like, I mean, there's been times I'm like, hey man, like, hand me sandbags. I can't break those. Like, like it's not a big deal. And they're like, no, you can't do that. You can't help. You can't X, Y, Z. I'm like, no wonder it takes so long for us to move from, do a location move or a company move. And it's like, I got hands, man. I can't break the sandbags, but yeah.
I know. You're right. On the larger shoots, the union shoots, that's a no-no. You stay in your lane. But on non-union, smaller shoots, you definitely help out. And I'm the type, I can't just stand there and watch people load gear and carry sandbags and gack. I just can't stand there and watch them do that. So I'll always, lend a hand. And I want to get the hell out of it as well. I don't want to stay around and do nothing. But that's awesome. So you found a career. Your career now is modeling and acting. Actually, acting, modeling. What would Zoolander say? An actor / modeling? Modeling / or was that Ty or one of those guys? That's funny. Oh man. So any other fun stories from the Army? I mean, I can think of. Oh man, we did so much stupid shit. I mean, and especially in the field. Man, I hated it. I was always, I could run fast because I played soccer, and my LT was on my soccer team, and he had longer legs than me. So since we were friends, I was his RTO. And so wherever he went, I went. And man, he would walk so damn fast. And that's back when we had these, the radios were called the Prick 77s. Oh my God, they're a big pack, like a big, like, it's huge, big whip antenna, and you have like an extra battery or two. But God, that sucked, man. I remember thinking, why did I run so fast in that run? So that way they knew that I could run fast. So they always made me run in the faster group or be the RTO with the LT that walked fast. I'm like, why did I do that? But I did. But I was so immature, like back then. Like, I mean, I wanted to get out so bad. I did my time, and I was like, I'm gone. I really wish I would have, stayed a little longer. Been a little more disciplined. Like how many years did you do?
I did was it 13 total? So
13 total.
Active duty and the guard.
And the guard, how was it getting out and going to the guard? Because I got out and I tried doing the reserves, and it was a drill sergeant unit. And I was just like, I can't do this. Like, that's not me. And I wasn't that, I mean, they were just like weekend warriors, especially coming from active duty. So how did you make that transition? Was it difficult, easy?
So when I first got out, I went to the Maryland Guard, which was a completely different unit. They're not. I think they got disbanded in 2015 or so, right after the Baltimore riots, or because we were a recon cav unit and also airborne, and they didn't see like a use for that anymore because I don't know, they were just drawn down because I think we were only one of three recon units in the Army that was with the National Guard. And the nice thing about that is that because you work in such small units, you're working as a detachments, which is like 8 guys max, big boy rules. And a lot of guys were from 173rd, from Ranger Battalion. We had a couple guys from SF. So it was dudes that had but we had one guy. He was Muma. He was 3rd bat, and he had a mustard stain, so that he had a combat jump. It's like these guys are legit, like holy shit, yeah. So and these were all National Guard guys, so it was a very different, just kind of like everyone there had a combat experience. Everyone there had done some things, and they brought that over to the Guard unit and made sure that even if we got guys who came in, straight from basic training, that they were still held to that same standard. Now, when I went to the Oregon Guard, that was completely different. That was when I was like, man, I got to get out of here. I went to the Oregon Guard, and I had to end up going to be a cadre at essentially Fat Camp. They called it something else, but it was Fat Camp.
Oh, my God.
Because at the time, I think something like 60 or close to 60% of the Oregon Guard couldn't pass a PT test, either because of they couldn't pass height and weight, or they couldn't pass the PT standards. And this is for anybody going into it. The mindset that I've told the story before is that when you're in these specialty units, you're airborne, you're Ranger, whatever, whatever it is, people know they're 100% of what they need to do. For example, a PT test, and they try to exceed that every time. And there's something in that mindset of like, I want to be better than my maximum. In the lower part of it, the Oregon Guard, they were people who know like their minimum. So they're 60%, the bare minimum to pass. They would know their minimum and continuously fail to meet that. Jeez. I was like, I can't do it, man. It's 2 different groups of people speaking different languages.
Yeah, no, I guess that just goes into why I just always ran the fastest I could, because I couldn't slack off. I wasn't that, I always try to do 120%, Yeah, you're right. Oh man. But then you had Garrison that they didn't care, and it showed. Imagine a talk. I went to Garrison after the old Guard, and it was pretty cush. I won't lie. There wasn't a lot of PT going on in Garrison, until the PT test came along. And it's a good thing I played soccer, so I was always in shape. So it wasn't a problem, for me at all. But, oh man, I had so much fun. I talk about being in the Army, being about just being professional drunks, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it feels like that's all, we were always on edge to do something. We were, there was always something going on, but we would always, cut loose, and we cut loose a lot. I mean, do you think that's across the board for all units there, Billy?
Yeah, so we were lucky being up at Fort Lewis that it was only like a 3 or so hour drive to Canada.
Oh.
And on long weekends, we would just go up to Canada when the drinking age is 19. Oh. And we would just get like crazy drunk.
Oh, man. Nothing like good times in Canada. I mean, that's, everyone, we all look the same, so you just grab someone's ID. So I was, 21 when I was 18, at my unit. And then I remember my 21st birthday. It was like so anticlimactic. I was like, I didn't even want to go out. I was like, why? I'm like, what's so special about it now? But yeah, the things you do, the training you did, and the proficiency you had to have was pretty crazy, especially being in a Ranger Bat. You're in the Ranger Bat up there, right?
Yeah.
Man, talk about cut loose. I mean, what'd you guys do to cut loose? Come on.
So again, going up to Canada. So we got lucky. We met these girls in Canada, and we were hanging out with them a lot. They were from Bellingham, Washington, which is about like honestly about 30, 40 minutes from the border. So we meet up there. We go up to Whistler. We snowboard all the time. And for us, again, a lot of guys get into the Army, and they're kind of stuck in the barracks because either no one has a car or no one is 21.
Yeah.
And we had one guy with a car. He had a Jeep. So we all just pile in his Jeep and we just hit the border. And I mean,
Freedom.
we go to bars, everything, clubs. I mean, we had like a table at this one like local Irish bar because every time we get a chance, we go up there and we just like clear out the place.
Did you guys have like a command and control where you guys had to do like 1 week a month, like where we're at Fort Lewis? Maybe it was just us. We always had to like in the old guard. We were like every company like 1 week a month or once every other month. You had to be like on command and control, so you had to be on call basically. And so they'd always call you up at like 3 a.m. And you had to get in by 4, and then they'd throw you on helicopters and take you down to Belvoir and do some stupid training. But man, it sucked because I mean, we didn't listen. We would still go out and get drunk, and you get called in, and you're like, still drunk, trying to get your ruck and everything together out in formation to get on helicopters, and just, man. Of course, the pilots knew you're drunk because they'd be like, they'd fuck with you. Those are the days to be young in the Army. But I don't know, great. I had a good time. I had a lot of fun, in the Army. I did some interesting things in my time. Like I was thinking, bebopping down. My last time at the White House, I was dropping off a flag. Boris Yeltsin was in town. This is in '94, and I had to get a flag from the warehouse and take it over to the White House and drop it off at the Rose Garden. And I remember just walking downstairs, just like, I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? Like, holy shit! I'm at the White House. So, but you think about these memories, and they seem so long ago, but they're pretty fond, the older you get. And I'm sure you stay in touch with a lot of your battle buddies, right?
Yeah, actually, this year we just had the 50th anniversary of 2nd Ranger Battalion.
Oh, nice.
So that was fun.
Oh.
I think the biggest shock of that was, so we're at the bar, and so on one of the last days, I guess we had figured that we were going to go to a bar, not that we needed to make reservations. And luckily it was a McMinimans. And McMinimans is I don't know if they have them in LA or not, or in California, but it's usually multi-storied building, and each floor has a different bar with a different team. So we go there, and they're like, yeah, we don't have an event today. I'm like, whoa, you don't mean the Alpha Company, like 2nd Ranger Battalion, like Rendezvous is going to be here? And they're like, no, we haven't heard anything. I'm like, oh, that's bad, because there's going to be like 200 or something of us coming. And they're like, oh shit. They called the rest of the bar people in, and it worked out. But it was crazy because the whole company's there. And I mean, this is like through eras. So, we had Vietnam guys, we had, the current guys, but we're sitting at the bar, and we're sitting at different parts of the bar. And I remember it was like my group, the GWAT guys. We're looking at the Vietnam guys, and then we're looking at the new guys, and the new guys are kind of like, oh man, like, how was war? Because, like, we're like, oh shit, like, where the Vietnam guys now, like, it's like, or like,
right,
kind of like that war, like, our war is over, and like, we're old, and like, we're done. It's like, oh man, that definitely, like, the age hit me with that one.
In a trip, dude, what always hit me with the age is one, when someone would question me being in the Vietnam War, I'm like, what the fuck, bro? I'm like, I'm not that old. Or two, it's like, no. The first time it really hit me is we met a soldier in Vegas, and he had his BlackBerry, I think BlackBerry back then, and he was talking about how his company issued, or his military issued BlackBerry. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, we all get issued these. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what are you talking about? You all get issued these? He's like, yeah, it's how we keep track of us, how we take time off. It's our calendar. And I'm thinking back, I remember going in our first sergeant's office, man, and it's like a board. It's like this, just a wall. And on the wall, they have nails, right? And on each nail is like a little circle, and it has your name, right, for each company. And that's where, if you're like on, active duty, or if you're on, disability, or wherever you are on leave, that's how they move you around. That's how archaic it was. So when I see this kid with this BlackBerry, I'm thinking, holy shit, I'm old. I'm like, That or Gore-Tex, because we weren't issued Gore-Tex. I think we talked about this, I think, when we were in Montana. Not that I have an issue with it at all, but we had like canvas and like the shittiest like cold weather gear, man. It was horrible. It was horrible being a grunt. So yeah, whenever I see those age gaps, I feel it too, Billy. I'm like, I'm old. Yeah. But it's cool. I encourage anyone, like any young kids that question the military, even in this time where it's really uncertain what the hell's going on. I still encourage it because there's so many good jobs, skill sets to learn and have, and to be able to transition, to the civilian world. Unlike, in my time when they didn't really have that many MOSs, and it wasn't that easy to transition from 11 Bravo to, anything. So, but yeah, you live in there. So, but I'm really glad I did it. So I'm sure you are too.
Yeah, I mean, especially now with the post 9/11 GI Bill, you go to school on it or transfer it to your kids, and there's so many benefits you get for doing a active duty full years or full term, and then you can go do whatever you want. And like 4 years seems like a lot, but it goes so fast. And it
so
sets
quick.
you up. Yeah,
it's so quick, especially what you're doing because you're always busy. It's not like you're in school where you have summers off or, all these breaks. I mean, because, you get your leave, but you're pretty busy. I mean, we were training all the time, If we weren't doing ceremonial training, we were off doing grunt shit. So it's not like we had a lot of time to do things. So the time did cruise by, God, I just wish, we didn't have like, these smartphones back then, or else I would have had more photos, some for the good, some for the bad. But like, I swear I only have like maybe 5 or 6 photos of me in uniform, and that's it. It's so crazy, the transition of technology that time was.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. If there's anybody in right now, especially if you're young, take way too many photos of you and your buddies. Like you're gonna miss that. I wish we had taken more, because we got in like, it's weird. About the first batch of photos that I have are all like from a disposable camera.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I have to explain to some of your audience what a disposable camera is.
Right?
But yeah, we did it on film. Yeah, and you had to give it to someone to develop, and hopefully, you didn't have your finger over the lens because you had no idea.
That's exactly what I had. That's all I had was either a little 35 millimeter camera, which I rarely had, or the disposable ones. And you would take those out, and there's no photo zoom or like, there's none of that crap. I mean, it just looks like crap. And then, you have to develop them and you have to hang on to them. And if you don't store them right, then they stick together. So you don't have any memories, unlike today where you can take all these memories and store them on the cloud and have them for years. So, you're right. Take all those photos, enjoy those memories because, they're fun to reference. And then they're fun to come on and chat about on Go for Donny, about some crazy experiences you may have had in the military, So, but dude, it's always good catching up with you, Billy. I just want everyone to stay tuned for Switching Channel 2 next, where we're going to get to ask Billy, 5 random questions that the audience really wants to know about. Don't forget to check out my website at gofordonny.com. Billy, this is not only an audio podcast, but it's also a video podcast, as you can see. So that's on my YouTube channel at Go for Donny. So don't forget to check that out. And I also have a bunch of merch. I usually have it, and you know what? I don't know where it all is, but you can go to the website. I have hats, blue and black hats, and some cool stickers. Oh, I know. I have my stickers here. See, my Go for Donny stickers. I'll have to send you a little package, and a little Go for Donny, Go for Donny sticker. So, but anyways, come check it out. Thanks, Billy. I can't thank you enough for coming on, dude. It's so good to see your face, man. I'm so glad you're doing so well. I mean, I do track what you're doing, and I think it's really cool. So remember the little guys when you're blown up to this big action star, man. Billy Dunston in something or other. You can do it. And as my mother-in-law always says, hashtag HTFU. HTFU, Billy. Thanks for coming on, bro.
I appreciate you having me.
All right, man. Take it easy.
You too.
production for Donny.
Go for Donny.
Locations for Donny.
Go for Donny.
Habitat for Donny.
Go for Donny.
Hey, Donny, what the hell are they doing?